Assessment objectives. The PRINCE2 Practitioner Examination is intended to assess whether a candidate can apply and tailor PRINCE2 project management methodology. So that's the objective here. We want to see how well you can apply your knowledge to a practical scenario. Let's look at the exam overview of the PRINCE2 Practitioner exam. The first thing you need to be aware of is PRINCE2 Practitioner is an open book exam, which means that you'll have access to your official PRINCE2 7th edition manual with you. You can either take a physical copy or a soft copy. As part of this course, you'll have access to a soft copy. However, if you desire a physical copy, you'll have to make arrangement for one yourself. The entire exam is 2 hours 30 minutes long. But if you have any special needs, you can communicate this to PeopleCert and you may be given extra time for this. Make sure you do this in advance so that you can know whether you get the extra time or not. Do be mindful that the exam consists of 70 marks. And in order to pass the exam, you need to get 60%. 60% is 42 out of 70. So in order to pass, you need to have 42 out of 70 correct. When we look at that, because the exam is 2.5 hours long, it's roughly 2 minutes per question. Remember, it's an open book exam. And finally, there are no actual writing, although you can take a piece of paper into the exam. Every question is a multiple choice question. So you still have to choose between A, B, C, or D, or column 1 and column 2, but it is all multiple choice and matching questions. So that's your general overview of the PRINCE2 examination. We have a few learning outcomes that we're going to cover in the next few topics. The first is, of course, to be able to apply the PRINCE2 principles in context. And we will test this by going through a series of questions to see how well you can apply the principles to the context. Just to remind you, there are 7 principles, and they're as follows. Ensure continued business justification, learn from experience, define roles, responsibilities, and relationships, manage by stages, manage by exceptions, focus on product, and finally, tailor to suit the project environment. It is not enough to know this, but you need to understand the context in which they are used. Our second learning objective is as follows. You will be able to apply effective people management in successful project. The aim here is for you to be able to assess whether an approach to leadership and management of teams within a project is appropriate. You will also be able to assess whether the approach to leadership and management of change within a project is appropriate. And of course, you will be able to apply the approach to the following, such as communication and people, which is central to the method. By the end of this outcome, you'll be able to apply key management product required to support the people element of the project, such as communication management approach and change management approach. The third learning outcome is to be able to apply and tailor the relevant aspect of PRINCE2 practices. Remember, there are 7 PRINCE2 practices, which is as follows. We have business case, progress, issues, risk, quality, and organization. You need to be able to apply and tailor those to be able to pass your PRINCE2 practitioner course. The fourth learning outcome is as follows. You'll be able to apply and tailor the relevant aspects of the PRINCE2 processes in context. Here is our process diagram, and if you remember, we have 4 levels of management in PRINCE2, which includes corporate layer or the business layer at the very top, the directing, which consists of the project board, the managing, which consists of the project manager, and the delivering, which consists of the team managers. We also know that we have 7 processes in PRINCE2, which are the starting up a project process, directing a project process, initiating a project process, managing stage boundary, controlling a stage, managing product delivery, and of course, finally, closing a project process. You'll be able to demonstrate the activities and inputs and outputs of these processes. You'll be able to understand the recommended roles and responsibilities that exist within this process. and you'll be able to know how the practice may be applied in this process. As part of your PRINCE2 practitioner course, when it comes to the PRINCE2 exam, you will have the following. You'll have a set of instructions that tells you what the exam is about, how many questions there are, how long you've got to do the exam, how many you need to pass the exam, and so on. Following from there, you'll have your project scenario. The project scenario is telling you about a fictitious project as is taking place. You need to read the project scenario from start to finish. I will recommend that you spend between 10 to 15 minutes on reading the project scenario. Then you're going to be shown a table which shows you how many stages there are in that particular scenario. And of course, you will have the additional information. You can withhold reading the additional information until the questions that requires it ask you to do so. The question will often state that using the additional information, answer the following question. It is at that point that you should go through your additional information and read it. Reading the additional information beforehand may prove quite counterproductive because you may forget it and you may start mixing things up later. But when the question requests it, please feel free to go and read it and then use it to answer the question as necessary. So that's the format that you're going to have. You have your instruction, you have the project scenario, and don't forget, you should always refer back to your project scenario at least every 30 minutes, just to remind yourself what the project is all about, because the questions are tailored to the project scenario.